right, happy, I'm looking at the number in my head, 11/4/22, November 4th, 2022. Doesn't feel like November right now. That's why it's a little odd. I was looking around. All the fields are cut, corn's down, beans are out, and it's going to be 75 degrees today, November 4th. It's pretty warm in Illinois for November. Kind of crazy. And they're forecasting above average November, so hopefully that holds out. I'm liking it. It's not bad. I do like it when the cold comes because it kills all those little nasty critters that you get in the warmer climates that just don't go away, continue to grow. So anyway, kind of, just transitioning. Every time has a season, there's a season for everything. Right now, 'tis the season for Litecoin. I preach about Litecoin a lot. And the reason why I do is because of the fundamentals. I've looked at other cryptocurrencies and I resonate with nothing more than I do with Litecoin. And I've said it many times, it's because it's got a fixed supply. There's only so many, only so much to go around, only enough for one hundredth of a Litecoin for every person in the world if you distribute it all out equally. So it's pretty scarce. You're not looking at billions of coins. You're looking at 84 million, and that's all that can exist. Only 4 times as many as Bitcoin. So pretty rare, pretty scarce. Been around for a long time, so a lot of it's been lost in wallets when it wasn't worth anything when it first came out. That's an interesting thought. These mined coins like Bitcoin, Litecoin, even Dogecoin, it's been around for a while. DigiByte's been around for a while. Vertcoin, I like Vertcoin. I just need a little more development on it. But these older mined out coins, think of the Bitcoin that's been lost. Think of the Litecoin that's been lost. Because when it first came out, it started at 0. And what's the real value of it? Nobody knew. People are throwing it around, spending it, sending it, spending it, and then spend it until the pizza's Bitcoin pizza. But just transferring it around just to see if the technology worked. And a lot of those coins got lost. So when you see, hey, there's 21 million Bitcoin, no, there aren't. On the blockchain, they're accounted for. The problem is there are people who can't access those coins because they lost the private key. They lost their wallet and the core wallet. They've lost these things and they don't have access to it. It's gone. So when you're saying 21 million, it could be, I've seen estimates that 4 million are gone. There might only be 17 million Bitcoin that can ever exist. There's over 19 million now, but think about that. Say there's only 15 million that exist right now, that are accessible right now. Let's put it that way, accessible. Because they're all accounted for in the blockchain. Your wallets, your private key, all that is a key to that virtual safety deposit box out there. And it allows you to unlock and move those coins wherever you want to move them. That's it. They're always out there and accounted for. You just need to have access to it. A lot of people have lost access to those coins. So those older mined coins, a lot of those have been lost just because people are trying to test it out and prove the case and make sure it works. Now, let's say you've got some Ethereum token that gets created out of nothing, and hey, we've got 20 billion of them. 1 billion seems to be the, or 1 trillion. So they create these with basically just a little bit of code, no work involved. Very minimal work involved. Not like a blockchain that's been running for 11 years like Litecoin, all that processing power that you can't undo. That's why it's so secure. But you just create a token out of nothing, put it on the Ethereum blockchain, and you pump it up, have a great website, and say all the things you're going to do, and you start selling the token for 50 cents a token, and you raise millions of dollars. So are those more likely to be lost as opposed to the coins that have been mined out over time? Probably not. And the reason why I say that is because everybody makes mistakes, and you could lose them, but they come out with a price, you're buying it, you're probably going to be more apt to secure that because you think you've got an asset or a security, something in your possession, whereas so it's tried and true. The Ethereum blockchain's been out there. There's all kinds of projects on it. We know it works. So there's no, hey, let me send you this and see if it works. Hey, let me give you this. And just to try to make the ecosystem, I'm on gravel again, make the ecosystem functional. So you did that in the early days with those proof of work blockchains and coins like Bitcoin and Litecoin. But now when one comes out, It's just, there is a built-in value to it, I guess. So you're not going to like squander it. You're going to try and hold it. You're going to try and keep it in your possession. So I don't know, it's just something, that went through my head right there, thinking that, when the value of the coin really didn't have a value, you were trying to find the value of it, you were much more apt to just kind of throw them around like, no big deal. But now, if you're paying for it, it's like, yeah, I got to make sure I hang on to this. I don't want to be screwing around and, giving these things away or losing them. I don't know. It might be just a different mindset, and we're further along in the process too, in the whole blockchain world, that, it's easier to secure the coins. Back in the day, it wasn't so easy. So, I don't know, just a thought. Anyway, there's a lot of them lost, a lot of Bitcoin lost, a lot of Litecoin lost, or I should say inaccessible. So it's more rare than you really think. So what I start off, pull back from the tangent. Let's start talking about Litecoin again. I looked today, and I hate to even use dollar prices in Litecoin, because it's just like there's only so many to go around. Get possession of it. Have a slice of that pie before the pie is gone. Really doesn't matter in dollar amounts unless we're looking at the energy that's coming into it. So the energy coming into it currently, Litecoin was just at $50 a few days back. Now I look today and I'm like, it's $66. So there's energy coming into Litecoin. And I knew this would happen. I've been preaching it forever. And of course, we're going to have our dips and consolidations, but once it starts moving up, it's going to continue to move up steadily until the halving, or the block reward halves next. Some people are saying the end of July. So if that's the case, I got to move my timeline back a little bit, and it might be earlier in June that we see the Litecoin halving pump. But I've been saying, we're going to hit $240 on Litecoin just by doing the math from the prior halvings. So I'm looking at the halvings, and it's like, I'm waving, getting distracted by neighbors. But looking at the halvings, you're like 45 days prior to the halving event is when you see the peak in Litecoin. So let's say it's July 31st. I got to move that back. It might be like around June 12th to the 16th, 17th-ish when we see that $240 price. And I'm just going by the charts. Again, don't take this as some kind of super trader, because I'm not. I'm a guy that holds it. Now, I will, at some point, want to buy something with it. And I don't know what that is. It'll get to a certain point. The problem is, if it's hard for me to sell Litecoin, and I don't even want to say sell, it's hard for me to use Litecoin to buy something, because it's just, I look at what the real underlying value of a payment network is that's been running for 11 years uninterrupted, and you can hold it in your own possession. No bank can control it. No government can control it. I see the value of that. I understand the intrinsic value of having something like that. And then having privacy, having the ability to send the transaction and nobody knows how much you're sending and how, where it's coming from, who you're sending it to. To have privacy in transactions. I understand what the value is, so it's almost like I don't ever want to get rid of it. I want it to become the new payment system, or one of the new payment rails, to where people use it to exchange value as money, because that's what it is. It's the perfect form of digital money at this point. And I know a lot of people say, well, Zcash has security and Monero has security. Yeah, but it doesn't have liquidity. I'm sorry. You don't have liquidity for the common people. You might have it on the market cap, and trading volume. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the gateways, the on-ramps, the off-ramps, the ability to actually use the money. You can have a piece of gold, and if nobody knows what it is, it's not money. Somebody has to be willing to take that. Or you have to be able to sell that for something else. And, that's why it's money. But, you'll go down the street, hey, I'll give you one Bitcoin or $100 bill. They don't even know. I'll give you, 100 Litecoin or $100 bill, and they'll take the $100 bill. Same with hey, here's a 10-ounce bar of silver. Here's give you a $100 bill or a 10-ounce bar of silver, and they'll take the $100 bill, because they don't understand. We need to get to a place where we understand that it's not a dollar-based economy, that the dollar is rigged. that they're printing it. They're creating it out of nothing, and it's devaluing all the dollars that you hold. It's like you go, okay, let's use the example of Litecoin. There's 84 million that exist. Let's say you're like, all right, I'm putting my value in that. I'm going to get 100 Litecoin. All right, I'm doing pretty well. And then all of a sudden, the code changed. Now it's 840 million. You're like, what? So basically your 100 Litecoin now it becomes 10 Litecoin purchasing power. I mean, and that's what they do with the dollar, but that can't happen because the code is fixed. And the network, I mean, it's just, that's the beauty of it. It's math. There's no math to the US dollar Federal Reserve note except like the infinity symbol. That's the math. Infinity, they just put that on every bill. Infinity now. You know, I mean, that's what you're looking at. There's no stop to it. So when I come across something like Litecoin, something that has the code built in, the math, to where you can understand it, it's open source, fixed supply, been running for 11 years, non-stop. Bitcoin can't say that. Ethereum can't say that. I mean, hello? It's a no-brainer to me. Privacy features built in. It's like digital cash. So it's hard for me to want to get rid of it unless I find something that has a similar value. It's like, okay, if you need to eat, okay, food, important. Things like that. It's like, I can buy something I need with it, then I'd be more apt to do it. But otherwise, I'm just like, until it reaches its fair value, and it's nowhere near that, then I really don't want to even use it. Now I do, like if people in the community, make t-shirts and make, different products, I will spend Litecoin because I want to give that to them. I want to support the ecosystem, the people who are creating Litecoin products and services. I will pay them in Litecoin because that's what I want to do. I want to pay for, goods and services and energy with real energy. But if it's like going to Walmart or Amazon, I don't want to pay in Litecoin, because then I'm going to have to replace it. And I know that builds the network and all, but we got to do that from the grassroots, it looks like. I mean, they're going to put payment gateways in. They're already there. I mean, because you can spend Litecoin if you want to. You just go get a Litecoin Visa debit card. Litecoin-card.com. Go get that. I mean, and there's other platforms. Coinbase, I think you can spend Litecoin, with the Coinbase card, and Crypto.com card. I mean, there's all these ways that you can pay, but it's really not the pure way to do it. You're not doing it on-chain, blockchain. You're still using the existing payment structures, and you still fall under those, and the merchant still gets hit with fees from Visa, and it's like, it's a great transition. It's a great gateway to kind of get people into using it. But ultimately, it comes down to, as Charlie G says, you need to have possession of your cryptos. It's great to have platforms like PayPal, like CoinMe machines, like MoneyGram now, and all these places. It built coin flip machines, ATMs, all these things. It's great to have those things to where you can on and off ramp Litecoin, but ultimately we want to get to a world where we can get that Litecoin, put it in our own wallets, and then spend it directly on the Litecoin network, because then all those other networks go away. And see, that can happen right now. It's just a matter of people understanding that, hey, there's an alternative reality here. The vampire casino exists, the vampire payment system where they take a cut of everything exists, and we can use that. But there's a parallel payment rail, and it's called Litecoin. And you can take that Litecoin, hold it in your possession. They can't interfere with it. You're completely outside of their system. The network for Litecoin controls, or I should say, it validates everything on its own. Individual computers running that we give power to and run code on and make the choice to support the network, that runs on its own. And we can send value back and forth on that network directly without going through Visa, without going through MasterCard, without going through any of these other, vampire tangent legs, of the vampire octopus or the vampire squid, the tentacles. We don't need to use those. No, we can if we want, but we don't need to. And once people understand that and see, well, wait a minute, you can pay me directly in Litecoin on a Sunday afternoon when the banks are closed and the coin shops are closed. So if I wanted to pay in gold or silver, I can't test it. Yes, you can. The Litecoin network will validate it too, because when you get paid in Litecoin, it shows up and you're like, oh, boom, the network took care of it. It's in my possession. Nobody else can use this Litecoin except me. When people understand the real value of that sovereignty of money, that freedom, that's when it's a game changer. So that's why I'm like, I kind of don't want to get rid of the Litecoin, because I understand what power that is and how valuable that is. It's way undervalued in price at $66 when I last looked today. $66 for the power to have one whole Litecoin. What you can do with it. All those things I just talked about. And have the comfort, the peace of mind to know that, hey, this isn't just some, Solana that's going to shut down tomorrow and then shut down again the next week, and the developers have to come in and, no, it's 11 years running nonstop. 11 years running in the digital world. How often do you have to restart your laptop, make it work? Your phone, how often does it glitch? ATMs, the ATM's broken, we got to fix it. How many times do things fail? When you've got a network that's been running for over 11 years and never missed a transaction, that gives me peace of mind. I know that the energy I go out and work for and put out into the world, if I take that and transfer that into Litecoin, I know it's going to be there for my children. It's sound money for the digital age. That's what it is. If you haven't looked into Litecoin, you should look into Litecoin. You should really take a hard look at it and understand what the fundamentals are. And then you'll realize, this is kind of a better Bitcoin. It does more. Like I said, there's nothing else that I resonate with more in the crypto world than Litecoin. There just isn't. I love DigiByte. I do. It's got different properties. There's a lot more of them. The technology that can be built on it, the speed, it's only 15-second blocks, for block transaction, the blocks of transactions every 15 seconds. So, it's super fast. You want to send value quickly, use DigiByte. But, out of any cryptocurrencies, Litecoin is my number one by far, and DigiByte is a second. That's where I'm at. Both proof-of-work blockchains, been around for a long time. They just keep running. I want to put my value in something that works. I don't want some, is it going to pump today, pump tomorrow, make cash on it. No, this is a long-term game, man. This is about having sound money in your possession and putting your energy into something that you can trust. I have no doubt. I trust Litecoin. Completely trust it. If we're going into a digital world and they're going to ramp up and they're going to give us central bank digital currencies and take away the cash and force you into that digital system, I don't want to go down that road where you meet the new boss, same as the old boss. I want to have something in that digital world that works, something that I can transfer around anytime I want, 24/7, 365 days a year, 366 in a leap year. Something that never stops running, something that the banks don't control, the governments don't control. It's out here completely outside of that. It's your own sovereign money. That's what I want. That's why I like Litecoin. All right. It's Friday. Happy hour today. If you haven't watched a happy hour show, it's on Litecoin Lisa's YouTube channel. Go to Litecoin Lisa on YouTube, search it. It will also be on this channel, the simulcast. The chat's over on Litecoin Lisa's channel, though. That's where all the action is. So at 4 p.m. Central Time, I'll be probably in the bar today. It might be raining and having some drinks. We're going to be talking about crypto. We're going to be talking about freedom. We're going to talk about, basically humanity rising, because that's what we want to do. Now, I think we might have a special guest on today to where I'm going to try and take him down the woo-woo hole. So, and I know he knows about it. So, check it out, 4 p.m. Central Time, Litecoin Lisa on YouTube. Go out there, give it a thumbs up, share it, and hope to see you there. But like I always say, at the end of this, you have got to trust your instincts. You have got to trust yourself. If your gut's telling you to do something, you should probably do it. Don't listen to anybody, vampire, max headroom, talking crap on the TV screen mocking birds. Don't listen to them. Listen to yourself. Because what they're saying is an illusion. It's all fake. In fact, if you just watch it and invert it, because that's what they do, they like inversion. If you just do the opposite of what they say, you're probably going to be better off. So what they're saying to you is a 180. Just look at the advertisers. Look at the commercials. That'll tell you all you need to know. All right. Love you all. Trust yourselves. If you found any value in this, hit the thumbs up, share it, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell if you want to see every video, be notified when the videos come out. But again, I just want everyone to maybe look at things a little bit differently and maybe spark something in you that makes you think a little bit differently and just go with your gut. Research it. If it feels good, you think it's a good thing, just do it. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. All right. I love you all. Have a happy Friday. Hope to see you on Happy Hour, 4 p.m. Central Time on Litecoin Lisa's channel. Thanks for watching.